Hello everyone, and welcome to a new review. Not an old review, just to be clear. And today we're taking a look at the very festive Beast of the Mesozoic 1/18 scale Achillobator giganticus. And look who's back. Okay, now stop looking. Anyways, let's just go ahead and take a look at the box. So, as you can see on the side, there is the artwork of the Achillobator. Very beautiful. And the packaging isn't really anything exciting. It's the same packaging that all the more new BOTM figures have had, so not really anything there. And of course, on the back of the box, we have some facts about Achillobator, as well as some stuff about the figure and an image of the figure itself, as well as the other figures that released alongside this one. Well, except for the Tarbosaurus, I'm not sure what he's doing down there. And that's pretty much it for the box, so let's just go ahead and move on and get the figure out. Well, here it is, the Achillobator giganticus. Of course, it also comes with a collector's card with some beautiful artwork of the Achillobator, and it appears to be eating some kind of therizinosaur, so that's pretty cool. You have some facts about Achillobator on the back, as well as some artwork and some photography of it on the top of the card. We also have instructions, very important if this is one of the first BOTM figures you have, or if this is just the first of this like body type that you have, because this is a brand new type of BOTM figure, because of course the neck articulation is all new, the feet are new, a lot of things are new on this, so you really want to take a look at this, as well as the base, well, I should say stand. I don't know why I always say base, but it is more of a stand, but yeah. This is very important, so just make sure you take a look at it. We also have interchangeable feet, so we have more of a curled toe for stepping down, and they are articulated, very nice. And we also have, as well as this brand new stand, we also have this older raptor stand that came in the 1/6 scale raptors a long time ago. But you also have this posing rod, as well as a little rest. I don't know what you call it. You just like kind of rest the figure on this. It's not like a clip or anything. Also, it may or may not come with this piece. I found this on my table. I opened this like a few days ago, and I'm just now recording this. That's funny how, you know, things work. But I don't remember if this came from something else or if it came with the Achillobator. I think it did come with the Achillobator. I don't know why it would be out if it didn't, but, you know, it may or may not come with this tiny piece of plastic. I know, it's just something you must know. And I really wanted to make it clear that I don't know if it does or not. I mean, I could just go over and look at the box, but do I really want to go do that? No, I don't. I don't want to walk 5 feet over to get a box. That's all the extra pieces that come with the Achillobator or the Utahraptor, depending on which one. You're watching the Achillobator review, not the Utahraptor review, but you can watch that if you want to. Yeah, so here we go. Let's just go ahead and take a look at this and get all the spiderweb stuff off. Let's just go ahead and take a look at it. I will be covering this stand later. I do have some things to say about it, so just, I don't know, watch out for that, I guess. Yeah, this figure is based off of the California condor, a very cool vulture, because, you know, I'm a huge fan of New World vultures, and this figure looks absolutely gorgeous in that color scheme. Very creepy and very Halloween-y, as, I mean, you look at my setup, and it's kind of close to Halloween, so that's pretty cool. Let's just go ahead and take a look at this. Of course, being based off of a darker colored, not as, like, flashy, bright colored bird, most of the paintwork is focused in the head. The head, like, I mean, just look at that. It's so realistic and so very menacing. I mean, just look at that. Up in the head, you can see this sort of a orangey pink fleshy tone around the neck and, well, the entire head, actually. And then on top of that, you have some lighter tones on the underside and some darker ones on the top, with some black and gray dry brushed and just kind of painted around the eye, and then on the tip of the snout is some gray. So that's pretty cool. I guess kind of incorporating the beak color of the condor into this, so I really like that. Also, the sun is coming in right as I'm trying to record this, so there's like a cutoff where my camera is, so it just looks weird. So just don't mind that. I don't know. You have this black tone around the eye, and then sort of just kind of splattered all over the place on the top of the face, as well as a little bit on the jaw, kind of just brushed on there. We also have some off-white here on the corner of the jaw. The top is mostly just black with that dry brushing, a little bit of that pink creeping in from the cracks in the skin, I guess, the folds of the skin. But, you know, you have that same on the neck piece here. And, I mean, look at this eye. The Utah Raptor's eye looked really nice, but this one, just there's something about it that's really nice. We also have that skin around the eye is also painted, which I don't think the Utah Raptor has. No, it doesn't. So you just have this pink ring around the eye where the skin is, and it just looks really, really nice and extra realistic. The nostril is also painted, and inside the mouth here has, of course, a pinkish purpley tone. The purple does not like to show up on my camera for some reason. It just does not like purple, but it is more of a purplish tone instead of, you know, pink. It also has a nice wash of a darker color to really bring out that detail and make it look nice and realistic. The teeth in here are also sculpted out very, very nicely. Once we move down into the body, you can see that there's not as much paint work. Like I said, most of it is focused in the head, but we will go ahead and go over it and a little bit of the sculpting because, of course, I did already review the Utah Raptor, but I will, of course, go over it a little bit in this review because, you know, not have to make you go dig out another review. But yeah, you have this neck piece here, which is actually unique to this figure currently. Of course, there is another Achillobator coming out for Cyberzoic, but that one is not out yet, so right now it's just this one. But you can actually remove this, which I think is pretty cool, and you can see there is some sculpting and paint work under that, so if you really wanted to, you can take this off and have some difference to the Achillobator if you really, really wanted to. I thought it might look weird with this off, but it actually does not look bad. I'm not going to take it off right now because I just really don't feel like it, but it's fairly easy to slip on and off if you really wanted to. It even says it in the instructions. But of course, it is sculpted very nice and sort of it almost looks like fur the way that it is sculpted. Looking very, very nice. And of course, once you move into the body, you start to see more of that feathery, leafy appearance to it. It looks very nice the way that everything's layered on top. I always say it looks like leaves on top of each other, which is very interesting, and I really, really like it. I don't know what it is. I just love it so much. But you have some different tones of gray. Up in the top of the back and hip area, it is a darker gray. But when you get down here into the wing, it is a much lighter color. So, you know, you have that. There is this middle section, which is that lighter color, and then you have a little bit of dry brushing, a little more sparsely dry brushed on the top of the feathers here. And then the very edges of these feathers here and the tips are painted, but it's barely noticeable around here on the wings. The underside of the figure is also painted a light gray, lighter than most of it, I would say, and it's more saturated, I guess, in this area, so there's more gray than black there, so that's pretty interesting. It's something I didn't really notice when I first got it out. The hands are painted the same sort of orangey pink color that the head is, and the fingers, at the tip of the fingers, is a lighter color than the rest. So kind of goes this lighter color and transitions into a darker color once you get up into the hands. It also has a dark wash applied to it, so to really bring out the detail and everything. It looks really, really nice. The claws are all painted in a glossy black color. They also have a little bit of gray in them. Not as much as the Utah Raptor did. Also, I'm having a lot of trouble focusing on it, so I really do apologize about that. But you can't really see it on the this one, but some of them have more gray, some of them don't. It's very random. Yeah. Then once you get into the body, like I said, there's more dry brushing, and oh my god, nothing wants to focus anymore because the sun is coming in and it's messing everything up. Okay, I think I kind of fixed the sun problem, but hopefully from now on it will be much better. There's some dry brushing in the leg here with sort of a furry looking feathering here, so the dry brushing really makes all the details stand out. Really nice looking. And then on the top of the leg here, you have that same dry brushing. There's not really much on the underside there, but you have some here, not much, and it's not as noticeable. But then once we get into the leg, you can see the same kind of color that the rest of the hands and the head were, and we have that new sort of scaling here with smaller scales and not as many like large bird scoots. They are still present on the legs, but there aren't any on the hands, so that's very interesting. I thought that was pretty cool. Of course, it is on the Utah Raptor, so it's nothing really new, but yeah, the claws are all painted, and you can see a little bit more of that gray that I was talking about. It's very random which claws have more paint on them than the others, but I guess that's kind of cool, more uniqueness to them. And then once we get out onto the tail, of course, the beautiful sculpture continues, especially on the underside of the tail. I mean, just look at this, the way the feathers are layered on top of each other. It's just so cool. I love these new large feathered raptor tails. They just look so nice. I hope the Deinonychus looks this nice. I know it's a lot smaller, but I hope that the feathering is sort of similar. I mean, just look at the way this one is. It's just so nice looking, and all the details and everything. But you have a little bit of dry brushing. It's a very dark gray, so it's not as noticeable in some lights, but you can see that it is present. And then on the tips of the feathers, along the edges of the tail, is painted in a light gray. So yeah, of course you can see it on the underside as well. The underside isn't like painted as like, it doesn't have that very light dry brush that the Utah Raptor had, but it's still very nice. I don't think you really need it on this figure. So that pretty much covers the paintwork and like the details and everything. Now it's time for articulation, the best part of these figures. So like I said, the jaw can open. Well, like I showed earlier, the jaw can open. And something about these new figures that it mentions in the instructions is if you want the jaw to open completely, you do have to place it behind this neck sleeve thing. So just like this, and then you can pose that however you want. Just be aware, the way that this is, you can't pose it. Some poses will allow the jaw to open all the way, and some of them like to close it. So if that makes any sense, I don't feel like I make any sense, but if that does make sense, just know that. Also, this one's jaw is really loose. It was like this out of the box. Sometimes it likes to pop open. I don't know. I've not really had a BOTM figure be like that before. Hopefully it's not super annoying, but I would just be, be aware of that. I guess. This is probably just an issue with my figure, but just know that this one has a very loose jaw. The neck articulation, as I was mentioning, is improved and everything from the previous theropods, so you can make it look very low down and also make it look up very nicely. Of course, the jaw's popping open again. I mean, just look at that. Why is it doing that? I'm not sure if I could fix that in any way, like by shoving something in there and making it more stiff. I don't really want to because I don't want to like ruin it, but I have done that before and it seems to work with some other figures. But do I really want to shove a piece of cardboard up into a $80 dinosaur figure's jaw? Not really. But you can also twist the neck all the way around, so if you really wanted to break its neck, that is something you can do. Man, I love these figures. You can readjust this neck sleeve if it comes out of place. And then you can see that underside is nicely articulated as well. So you can move that bottom piece there. The arms, of course, have normal arm joint, very arm-like movements. You can also move the elbow. Something about the elbow joint on these figures, the Utahraptor and the Achillobator, is some of them have an issue where if you, well, sometimes this arm joint can just like pop off, and sometimes they can be really loose. I haven't experienced that, but if you do get a figure that is like this, I believe they can send you a replacement if it's like really bad. You can also fix it just like with some super glue and just move it like so it doesn't glue into place. I know this has been mentioned in some other reviews, and I just thought I would share it just to make sure you are aware of that. There is also a warning on the website before you buy this figure in the Utahraptor, so just know that if it does happen, it's just an issue with these figures. It's not something giant and massive problem, but you know, it's just something to look out for. Also, the hand joint, this one's really loose. I'm not sure why. But yeah, the hand joint, you can move it all the way up, and the feathers still kind of stay connected if you, well, I'm about to hear. But something is a little interesting the way that these are. So as you can see, there's an extra piece of plastic as the wing here, and it continues like in the inside, but it does make it a little more hard to fold this wing in. You have to like push it in with a lot more force. I don't really like doing that because it rubs up against it and then it can like chip off the paint. It's not as a big issue on this one because this one's not like super painted, but it also does start to like be visible on the other side. So you know, it's a little annoying, but you know, you can move this and about to here and it still looks pretty fine. Of course, you know, that the waist articulation is, you know, pretty nice. You can have it move side to side, up and down. The hip articulation moves about up to here, and you can move it all the way up to here. Not much past here, which is a little inconveniencing because sometimes I like to make them sit, but you can't really do that with this one. So, you know, it's a little more limiting articulation than some other figures. You also have knee articulation right there. You can also swivel that. The ankle here can move up and down and swivel, and of course the foot can swivel, and it has a ball joint in there, so you can like move it however you want, and you can also move it like this as well. See there, it just popped up, but you can see there's a ball joint here, so you can like swivel that. You can also move this part there, so you can adjust it in any way you possibly can imagine. And of course, the sickle toe claw can move this toe, I guess, what you'd call it. I don't know. You can move that. You can move it up to there, and then all the way down to the ground. So you got that. You also have this part of the tail, which is articulated and can like kind of swivel. It can go up. Well, actually, it can't really go up because if you do that, it likes, this tail is just so heavy that it just kind of falls down. I guess I've kind of got it in a good spot right here, but it is kind of annoying because sometimes I want this tail to go up. Yeah, I was hoping it was just an issue with my Utahraptor, but it does appear that all of these figures have this floppy joint here because this tail is just way too heavy for it to keep up. So, you know, you can move it. You can kind of lock it in place if you want to wiggle it around, but yeah. You also have a side-to-side, which is really good, actually. And then finally, we have the ball joint that this tail is attached to, which you can just make it move all around. You can swivel it, do whatever you want, and there's also a bendable wire in here, so you can move that all around. So that is pretty much it for articulation on this figure. Oh yeah, also, I wanted to mention stuff about this base. So, stand, I mean. This is the new, posable stand, like adjustable stand, I guess. This stand I thought was really cool because you can like adjust it, but I'm not going to get it out. But the Utah Raptor one I've had for a while, and I've been able to adjust it and things. But you know, you can like lock it into place here. But something that is a little annoying, I know this is, oh, well, I guess the Achillobator just died, but although these are really nice because you can adjust them, they do get really loose over time. My Utah Raptor stand, sometimes they'll just kind of slide over like that and just fall over. I don't want to do it too much because I want that to happen to this one. But it is kind of annoying because I didn't think I was really messing with it too much. I was just trying to figure out different poses and things to put it in. But now that I've had more time to like work with this, it is really inconveniencing. I hope they can figure out a fix or something for that, because it is a little disappointing, because it is just kind of another thing to have to worry about while posing them. Yeah, so this stand is really nice because you have like all the different options. You can like just move it to whatever possible place you want. I usually keep it like this, and of course it has different little pieces to put on the top, so you can really customize it in really every possible way and just fit your needs of posing. But it is not the best thing, and I really do hope they improve upon it, because of course this is a brand new thing. It's not going to be perfect, and they are improving it. In fact, in the next wave they're adding like little pads to go on the bottom so they don't slide around as much. But really my big issue is that the fact that they get really loose. So I know I haven't messed with this one too much, but even just like trying to review it, trying to like just get it in a nice pose to put on camera, it has gotten a little more loose. But yeah, it's something you just have to be really careful about, not to mess with too much, or it will just wear down these little bumps here and it will not want to stay anymore. But overall, it is a decent stand, and even if that one does wear out and you have issues with it, it is really nice that they include another one. So this one, for example, is a very nice stand. It doesn't work as well with the big Raptors, but it is there in case you have issues with this one. So, you know, it's a nice option. It's nice they include this because this, again, is brand new. Who knows how it's going to turn out in the future. But yeah, just something I thought I would mention now that I've had time to really like work with this and figure out what this does and like do stuff with it. So yeah, that's my opinions on this new stand, and hopefully they improve upon it in future waves. Now let's go ahead and do a size comparison. Here is one of the 1/6 scale old Raptors from the Raptor series. And as you can see, the Achillobator is quite a bit bigger than that one. We also have the tiny 1/18 scale Velociraptors. And you can see you could basically just step on it. It's so tiny. Here's the BOTM Chianzausaurus. Here is the Proceratosaurus for a small Tyrannosaur. The Mattel Velociraptor. Well, that will conclude today's episode on how to use a lawnmower with a can of laundry detergent. Yeah, so the Achillobator is just honestly an awesome looking figure. It is just such a unique BOTM figure, and it's just super cool looking. I'm super impressed with it, and it's just so creepy and vulture-y and bald. And I just think that it looks so cool up there with the Utah Raptor. And the only downsides I have with it is, of course, you know, the elbow joints liking to pop off in some figures. And also, I wish there was more range of motion in the legs. I feel like they're a little bit more limiting than some other figures. But other than that, it's an awesome looking figure. And honestly, if you're thinking about getting it, go ahead. It is honestly one of my new favorites. I'm just overall really impressed with this new wave of BOTM, the new Raptors, all the new things coming out with all the new and improved like neck articulation and all that. It's super cool, and I can't wait to see what the next wave of figures and what they bring, because those are going to be really cool. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will be seeing you not in the next video. So, bye. Here where oh my god, nothing wants to focus anymore. I thought I could finally do a review and like, okay, I finally can do this, and it's actually somewhat decent lighting. And no, as soon as I try to do that, the sun comes blasting through my window and nothing wants to focus anymore.